Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for attending the Kansas City Pet Project Petco Cat Habitat Virtual Volunteer Orientation. In this orientation, we will be giving a brief introduction into what is Kansas City Pet Project and the Petco Cat Habitat program, your role as a volunteer for the program and overall best practices, as well as how to access and use Logistics, our volunteer management software that will be utilized to help record your volunteer hours and sign up for volunteer shifts. So what is Kansas City Pet Project? KCPP was established in 2012 as a 501c3 nonprofit charitable organization, and we are the municipal shelter for the city of Kansas City, Missouri. We have 13 adoption centers across the KC Metro, and 11 of those are Petco cat habitats. On average, we care for over 16,000 animals each year. While this orientation will be covering our Petco Cat Habitat program, we also want to spotlight our other feline life-saving programs that KCPP currently operates. First, the Community Cat Program humanely traps, neuters, and returns community cats to their original neighborhood. This service is currently only provided in Kansas City, Missouri. Our foster program helps save space at the main shelter for animals that need a kennel on site. Our feline foster program is almost entirely comprised of kittens that are under 2 pounds and needing a temporary home before they are ready for their spay or neuter surgery and to be adopted out, whether that be on site or through our Petco Cat Habitat program. Finally, our feline transfer program helps us save the lives of at-risk cats in other Kansas City Metro shelters, as well as across national shelters and rescues in the United States. There are many different ways you can locate information while volunteering through our Petco Cat Habitat program. First, we have monthly newsletters and daily EODs, as well as emails from the volunteer department and the Petco program manager to help give you important updates about KCPP, the Petco Cat Habitat program, and other more nice to know info. We also use Facebook groups as our primary means of communication about what occurred during our volunteer AM and PM care shifts. While not required, we greatly recommend joining the KCPP Petco Cat Habitat Volunteers page to stay in touch and make sure you are in the know. Also at each store, there is a Petco Cat Habitat all-knowing binder. This binder includes KCPP and Cat Captain contact info, daily care guides, medical concern QR codes, feline behavior charts, and everything else you need to know to be a successful habiteer. So you may be wondering, what is the general premise of being a volunteer for KCPP's Petco program? As a volunteer at our Petco cat habitats, you will help with the daily care of our cats and kittens. That means you get to help with the feeding, cleaning, and socialization of our cats. There are 2 daily care shifts each day at each Petco store, once in the morning and once in the late afternoon/evening. Sometimes a store may not have cats. If that is the case, feel free to ask in the Facebook group or message a store captain to double check. If a store has cats and a volunteer does not sign up for the shift, a KCPP staff member will help cover the shift. In the rare event a volunteer cannot make it to their shift, Petco staff will make sure the cats have food and water during their opening and closing shifts. You can also help with transport of these cats between our main campus and the Petco Cat Habitat location of your choice. At KC Pet Project, we have 12 different locations that you can volunteer at. You can volunteer at our Belton Petco or the ones in Grandview, Independence, Blue Springs, Liberty, and Lee Summit on the Missouri side, as well as 2 located in the Kansas City Metro, both up in the Northland, one off Berry Road and one off Vivian Road. We also have 4 Kansas Petco cat habitats you can volunteer at. One in Lenexa off 95th and Quivira, 2 in Overland Park, one off 75th and Metcalf, and one off 135th and Lamar. And we also have a Petco cat habitat at the Olathe Petco. The great part of the program is that you can volunteer at multiple Petco stores. We have volunteers that'll drive wherever there are cats needing to be taken care of, or may be working in that area and can stop by and check on everyone. Once you are trained at one store, you are trained at all of them. The Petco Cat Habitat Program is a great program for young volunteers to get involved. To note, for any volunteer between the ages of 7 and 17, an adult volunteer must monitor the junior or minor at all times. That includes signing off on the handbook and liability waiver for them and ensuring said volunteer follows all rules and guidelines. The adult volunteer will also be the one that signs up for shifts on logistics, and the junior/minor volunteer will accompany them. It is also up to the adult volunteer to report any junior or minor volunteer hours while at the Petco Cat Habitat. As mentioned before, after this virtual orientation, there is a mentor session that will be completed at the store. For the adult volunteer, it is required to attend, but it is optional for the junior or minor volunteer to attend. There are two forms of support for the Petco Cat Habitat program. First, the Petco program manager is a full-time paid staff member at KCPP that helps facilitate communication to the volunteers and Petco stores to make sure everything is going okay. They can help answer any questions that you may have, and they are one of the team, as you will see them take shifts, help transport cats, you name it. Also at each store is a volunteer Petco Cat Habitat captain. They will help provide guidance at the respective store you are at if needed, whether that be questions over daily care or shift openings, for example. When working around cats at the Petco Cat Habitats, we want to make sure we are utilizing feline-friendly practices. Some of these strategies include using a calm and quiet voice, moving slowly and being mindful of your surroundings, especially since you are at a Petco store, never forcing a cat outside of their kennel if they do not want to come out, wearing gloves and using a new pair while switching to take care of each kennel of cats, sanitizing hands between touching and handling animals and doing so as often as needed, knowing your own limitations when completing a volunteer shift, and never being afraid to alerting an appropriate team member if there is a question or concern. This will be covered more in depth during your Intro to Shelter Cats virtual training and mentor session after this orientation. Each cat at the store will have a kennel card showing their name, 8-digit animal ID, gender, age, breed, color, and pattern description, and price. This is important information if you ever need to ask a question about a cat or submit a medical concern for a cat or kitten during your volunteer shift. Each kennel of cats will have a daily care log where you can record important information about how the cats are doing during their brief stay at the Petco store. It is important that these are completed at the end of each volunteer shift to help ensure that all cats are doing well both physically and mentally. Next, we will go over some safety guidelines with rare emergencies that can occur while volunteering at a Petco store. First, there may be a time where a bite may take place between you, the volunteer, and one of our cats. If a bite that breaks skin occurs, first, make sure the cat is secure and please wash your hands with soap and water for 10 minutes. Next, report the bites or injuries to the KCPP Petco program manager. A KCPP staff member will then go to the store to bring the cat back to the main shelter to serve a 10-day bite quarantine. Depending on the situation, you may also file a bite report with the local municipality where the incident took place. An important reminder is that this does not get you or the animal in trouble. We just want everyone to be safe and secure when this emergency does take place. Next, we always want to put up a fence or barrier if cats are coming out of the habitat. If cats become loose in the store and are not able to be secured, first alert a Petco staff member so they can turn off the automatic doors so the cat does not escape. Next, you'll alert KCPP and the Petco program manager. They will then help complete a search party with the help of volunteers and Petco staff at the respective store. If the cat is not found in the same day/night, a trap will be laid out to help entice the cat to become secure. If if and when the cat is trapped, KCPP will help assess the FAS or fear, anxiety, and stress of the cat to determine if they can stay at the Petco store for adoption or if they need to go back to the main shelter to help decompress. Now, we are going to cover what to wear while completing your Petco Cat Habitat volunteer shift. First, it is required to wear some form of KCPP volunteer gear so that you can be identified as a proper habitat caregiver. This can be a volunteer t-shirt or hoodie, for example, and these can be purchased in person at the main shelter or Zona Rosa Adoption Center or online on our website. Soon, each location will have a volunteer vest that can be worn if KCPP gear is forgotten at home or if someone arrives for a last-minute volunteer shift. It is also required to wear closed-toed shoes during your shift. It is recommended that you wear long pants as well, and a name tag, which can be requested through the General Volunteer Program. As an organization, it is our goal to provide excellent customer service in every interaction. Gaining the support of our community, including potential adopters and donors, is vital to our continued success and growth. When working with the public, we ask that you do the following. Understand your role as a volunteer. You are the face of KC Pet Project in the Petco stores, and you represent the culture of KCPP. Treat everyone like a potential adopter, volunteer, foster, or donor. Approach everyone with kindness and empathy, and remain non-judgmental. And if you do not know the answer to a question, please feel free to ask a fellow volunteer via the Facebook page, or you can locate the information in the Petco Cat Habitat All-Knowing Binder, or you can reach out to the Petco Program Manager as well. Now that you've completed your virtual orientation, the next step is to get you into the volunteer database system so you can continue on your KCPP volunteer journey. First, apply on the KCPP website under the Volunteer tab and fill out the volunteer application. Once your profile is completed, add a profile picture to your logistics profile. This should be a picture of you from the neck up without sunglasses, hats, or filters. After that, you should be able to acknowledge the volunteer handbook and sign the liability waiver. You'll then need to wait until you receive confirmation from the volunteer team that you have completed your virtual orientation. This may take up to 48 hours. If you have not already completed the online Intro to Shelter Cats video quiz and you are able to, please feel free to do so. After that, you'll be signed up with a trainer at one of our Petco Cat Habitat locations. You will use your volunteer account to sign up for shifts, check and review your hours, and review other volunteer opportunities. Junior and minor volunteers will have separate accounts from adult volunteers. You will go to kcpetproject.org, then under the support tag is where you will go to log into your account. Once you have your Logistics account all set up, you will then use your email and password to sign in. This is what your main screen will look like once you log in to your volunteer account through Logistics. There is a lot of helpful information on the Logistics main page, including links to virtual trainings. If you have not yet, you will need to watch the Intro to Shelter Cats video and take the quiz prior to doing further mentor training at a cat habitat. After you have taken this quiz, we will process your results, and once you have passed the test, you will pair up with a cat captain or mentor to do your training. The Petco program manager or the volunteer department will be in contact to help set this training up for you. After you have completed your mentor training at a Petco cat habitat, the trainer will submit a form sharing that this has taken place. Once received, we will update your profile with the ability to sign up for volunteer shifts at any KCPP Petco cat habitat. We will let you know when this is done, as it can take up to 24 hours to update. Once the above steps are complete, you can start signing up for shifts independently. To sign up for Habitat shifts, click on the calendar icon on the top left of your screen and that should let you see all available cat habitat shifts. The calendar shows days with blue highlights. That means there are available shifts on those dates. Sometimes a shift may be available, but there are no cats at the store. If you are unsure if a shift needs to be signed up for, always feel free to check in and ask. Next, click on the day you are interested in, and you can see all shifts available that day. You can then click on Schedule to sign up for the respective shift. Once you have successfully signed up for a habitat shift, you should see this now at the top of your schedule. If you signed up but need to remove yourself from the shift, select Remove. Please note you cannot remove yourself from a shift the day of. You must email the Petco program manager or tag them and the captain of the store you are volunteering at on the Facebook group. And that is the end of our orientation. Thank you all so much for attending, for your interest in volunteering with us, and wanting to help save some feline lives. If you have any questions, please feel free to email volunteer@kcpetproject.org. Thank you all so much, and I hope you have a great day.